that decision, you know? So I think Team SMG, this particular lineup, looking much better. It is more focused around that Claude, which could be a very weak point if Smooth just doesn't perform, just is not having a good game, you know what I'm saying? Some days you're just not feeling it, and hopefully this is not one of those days for Smooth. AURAFIRE coming up with their final pick.
Now, we do have Phoenix here. Of course, joke seems to be not over. Of course, don't want to put somebody down on the ground inside of this sort of matchup. As we'll go for that sort of Tamus. Very good way to actually sum up the entire composition. But it seems like they're going to be doing another funneling strat, which honestly isn't too bad.
Yeah, and I think this is why they didn't want to go for Angela this time around, because then if you're solely dependent on that 1v1 of Carry versus Claude, and Angela tips the scales quite significantly at any point of time to save that Claude. So I think AURAFIRE understood exactly, hey, we're not going to have as much damage as we thought. Let's get rid of the Angela, and then we don't have to worry about it. I see it now. The strategy makes sense.
Yes, indeed. Now, of course, now that they finally drafted pretty much a better roster from the side of Team SMG, I want to see them perform. I want to see them going for some plays that they have actually planned out throughout those weeks of preparation. And of course, against AURAFIRE, it might just be a little bit of that challenge, but nothing is impossible in the land of Dawn as we're heading in towards game number 2, Team SMG versus AURAFIRE.
Oh, the cinematic view never gets, honestly, this never gets old until the teams are right where they need to be. They have split into a very good lane assignment of 1-3 and 1 for both sides, making sure that they are keeping control for as much as possible. Hopefully, Xborg shouldn't have too much issues with. Oh my goodness, Phoenix is just walking right in. Vaughn is getting quite a bit of damage onto Smooth and pushing him out. He doesn't get that last fireball, luckily. And now the rest of Team SMG, they need to take this wave with the added, with the new patch, adding a bit more XP for that first wave.
Yeah, quick rotations instantly coming from the side of AURAFIRE.
Ooh, what a steal.
Smack all this sort of wave. They're already going in for all these buffs already, and here comes Invasions.
Why? Sonic is still, Sonic is still alive. That Lethal Wanderer ain't gonna keep him alive as long as they thought he would, but Bones quickly rotates down to the bottom side. I think he can actually do it. He can actually 2v1 this if he wanted to. He already got max gauge overheat onto both of both Von Strong as well as the Kufra, if I remember correctly. And I think he could have just kept on putting in that true damage, but again, a bit of a mistake coming in from Team SMG. Sonic definitely should have taken the safer path.
Yeah, and also, although there was all this true damage being left available, it's pretty much an outnumbered fight if you really want to commit to it. So we do see some slight goal capacity heading in towards the favor of AURAFIRE for sure. And I think it's smart enough that Bonesy did not choose to fully commit. Like, not worth burning a flicker for a 50-50, you know, like that buff. Might eventually go towards the favor of Aura with so many of all these members.
Yeah, I totally agree. And nothing much has really happened in this game except for that one kill. Nobody's being hyper proactive here. Nobody has made too big of a deal. Trust giving over the crab, the river crab, over to his carry while mid lane rotates down to the bottom side because he almost is getting pressured out of lane. He is at literally just 20% of his HP. Jawhead has punished him as much as he can with the help of Atlas and Claude coming in once in a while. Ooh, Bonesy trying to get on out of there. Already used the flicker, but he's taking a little too much damage. He survives with 1 HP and he makes it on out of there. Woo, that was close.
Very, very close indeed. And with that, Aura is going to be making pretty much an engagement in towards the mid lane if they could. For a man up mid side while the Tamus holds down the bot. So this is going to take quite a while, but they're already going on a chase against Molly. Phoenix scouting out for a little bit of that sort of information. While Carry as well as Valir goes out towards the mid side, but look at Trust though.
Yeah, Trust had to rotate to the side to make sure that Trust doesn't keep cutting the wave. They need to put some kind of pressure on him. If not, Trust is just going to sit there and keep proxying both mid and bottom wave. And that can be very frustrating to deal with after a certain while because now you don't have a wave to push with, and AURAFIRE can maintain control over the map.
Now, speaking of map control, we're already seeing Aura here having pretty much lane dominance as well as the river dominance as they manage to secure the very first turtle once again. And now, going for the buff. Van Strong just flushing out any sort of discrepancies that might just occur.
Yep. And I think at this point in time, Team SMG have to be proactive, right? They can't just keep sitting here letting nothing happen when they have a lot of pick potential with their supports. And so far, they haven't been able to rotate too far. Bonesy's still in a lot of trouble, but he's holding the lane really, really well. He just needs to make sure he doesn't lose his Firaga armor. Ah, boy! But the rest of his team was able to kind of secure the area for him. So now Bonesy has a lot more breathing room, and I think they should actually switch the lanes out so that Bonesy can actually recall. But they don't clear out the second wave. They force him back into the lane, but however, he is not getting dove under tower.
And we can see Team SMG playing a lot more defensive in a really good way. But, you know, if we talk about Firaga armor being not available, it will come up online, maybe 1 second too late, that he has to actually force a little bit of that flicker coming out. Well, it shouldn't be too big of an issue, but over the mid side though, it's going to be a catch coming from inside of Phoenix. He'll bounce away. Didn't really utilize the Tyrant's Rage because he knows that there's not enough backup to actually secure the kill. So far, there's only one kill favoring the side of AURAFIRE, and you know, the goal is really chaseable for the side of Team SMG if they want to choose to pull the trigger.
Yeah, and so far Aura still maintains control over the game. Team SMG, they're definitely making a lot less mistakes than they did beforehand. They've only given up one kill, and that was because of a very, very minor mistake coming in from iSonic. But besides that, they are playing a solid game now. They're making sure that they're defending the dives. Oh, pretty good flick, pretty good ejector coming up from this side. He quickly flickers over, but that's 4 members. A good defense. However, the rest of Team SMG need to make something happen across the map right now and not let Neo's death be in vain.
Well, I'm looking at the other position while that sort of flank was going on the bot side. It seems like they're just somewhere across the map, not really securing all too much to begin with. They could have either pushed the top side, they could have actually go in for a re-engage over the bot, but seems like they're not being proactive enough for now, and hence they have to actually let go yet another member for that second kill over towards the side of AURAFIRE. Now, Turtle being slain as they are chasing all the way in. Trust just melts down Neo like butter as we see Phoenix try to actually secure the kill. He will be able to actually take down that jaw hit while they are opening up a little bit more over mid side.
Yeah, they're really banking on this hyper carry. Smooth really has to get online as quickly as possible. He is down 2 levels to Vance right now, so it's not looking too good. He just bought his Demon Hunter sword, and that power spike couldn't have come at a better time, but he still needs a lot more before he hits critical mass.
It's going to be taking a while. Endless battle being bought there by side of Vance as we're looking at a little bit of that commotion up to the top side. Here comes Phoenix as well as Vance. They are diving over the side of Neo. Neo has no escape. And once more he will fall. But the rest of members of Team SMG popping out the Firaga armor with the last insanity. Here comes the re-engagement. And oh my, the fatal links, of course, was pretty good. But all these flickers have already been burned from Team SMG.
Yeah, the rest of Aura falls back into their own jungle. They need to pass. They need to pass by mid to kind of clear that wave off. In the next 50 seconds or so, Turtle is going to come back up as well. So maintaining this pressure is going to be good for AURAFIRE. They don't really have to make a play just yet until Lord starts spawning.
Speaking of Lord, of course, it's still going to be taking some time since it's only 7 minutes of play. And Vance just being extremely destructive. Like, I don't see any of these members challenging him 1v1 and walks out live at this point, as we are looking at pretty much a very high DPS. And here comes Phoenix. That tries to dive right in, not really hitting on towards anything at all. Next turtle is going to be coming up online over the lower side of the river as we see AURAFIRE on the raid.
Yeah, that's it's pretty frustrating for Team SMG right now because they can't really walk out of their base. And AURAFIRE basically have full control over this map. There's nothing that Team SMG can really do. They're 7K behind, 8 minutes into this game. This turtle is completely uncontestable unless SMG find a pick. And I honestly think that they really should. Like, they should get rid of this Uranus, and it shouldn't be an issue with 3, maybe even 4 members, because right now there's nothing else for Team SMG to do on the map.
Yeah, any sort of goal that they can actually get is definitely going to be very, very useful. And they're just walking, letting Trust just walk by. Like, I don't know, like, I guess they just don't want to waste time on Uranus at all, and they just soloed this turtle by itself.
Yeah, and now Aura's in perfect position to really just... They could look to end this game or at least break an inhibitor turn, because I don't think Team SMG is in any position. Oh, the initial catch onto the backline there. Isonic's in trouble, but he gets pulled by the Fatal Links into the team. Kufra just could not move. However, Kufra's death was not in vain. Phoenix did not just die for no reason. The rest of Aura was able to break open that inhibitor on the bottom side. That's going to be a continuous pushing lane for the side of Team SMG, and there's nothing they can really do about it. I don't know if Aura wants to sacrifice another member for another inhibitor turret, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Phoenix is coming back up in 4 seconds. They could easily just wait.
Yeah, of course, they will still be able to actually withstand a little bit more of these pressure coming from the top side. And Vance is just waiting at the side. If in the case that they really want to bring very heavy commitment, then eventually they will be able to close it out. 1 more minute to the Lord, something that AURAFIRE is looking forward to.
Yeah, 9 minutes, 30 seconds into this game. Lord is going to be coming up in about 50 seconds or so. They can wait until 11 minutes to hit Luminous Lord if they wanted to. But considering how much of a lead they have, I don't even think they need Luminous Lord at this point.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely going to be a little bit dicey of a situation for Team SMG. Like, should they even go anywhere close to even contest? But it seems like they finally decided that we want to take down this Uranus. They will get it finally. And with that sort of takedown, we see a team of Shield being brought there by the side of Mali.
Yeah, and they're going to keep controlling this lane for as long as they can here. AURAFIRE getting their first punish onto Trust was just, again, pushed up really a little too far, and Team SMG finally taking advantage of it. All right, 6 seconds. This is a make it or break it for Team SMG. They have to contest this Lord.
Now, a lot of all these choke points have already been set up from the side of AURAFIRE. And Team SMG, they're not falling for that trap at all, as they are sending even more members over to the lower side of the map, which I felt they could have actually maybe scout out a hit way earlier on than, you know, committing towards the bottom tower.
I don't really know here, because I think they expect, yeah, they're sending all 5 members at this Uranus to hopefully pick him up. So Trust, the more time he buys here, the better it is as the rest of the team. Oh, he's coming. Is Trust going to die before he reaches the... No. He hops over the wall, and now they've got no cooldowns. Cut off from the back line. You can see a full engage from Aura here. They are cutting down that back line. They had no chance whatsoever. They walk into the base. Bodhi comes back to life just to die one more time, and the Crystal fully exposed. They have an entire wave to work with. Smooth decided to bail out of the fight. He still has a Blazing Duet. He could look to clear that bottom wave, but I think it's going to be a little too late. He isn't able to recall in time, and there you have it. A victory, a clean 2-0 from AURAFIRE.
So far, not even a single game being dropped by any Indian